Over the years, art has been one of the elements that has marked humanity. Big artworks are still in our memory, or we can see them wherever we are. In antiquity, art was the equivalent to grandeur, and as the years would happen, art became a way of expression with artists like Van Gogh. So, as the art started to be a way of expression, it started to be forbidden. Some of them were not likely for the people who ran the world, or were made in places where art was forbidden. But in the beginnings of the 60s, some people in Paris started to think that it exists a place where they can make their own art, a big place that never ended. They wanted the streets to be their canvas. This was the beginning of urban art. Although the first steps of urban art started in Paris in 1960, it wasn't until the middle of 19th in the United States when it started to be famous. With Separ Ferret as a precursor, this kind of art started to be developed. The use of posters, murals, stickers or molds began to be frequent for doing this art job, which, of course, was illegal. First, this urban art tried to show one political message or something similar, but just like the official art, over the years, it has become a particular way of expression for the artists that try to paint it. The debate about the legal or illegal of urban art exists also in Belgium, one of the most important countries in Europe. In fact, in this country, the urban art is on the agenda, because you can find a lot of artworks in the streets of every city, such as Hasselt or Leuven. Following the debate, we have come to Brussels, the capital of the country and one of the cities more influenced by urban art. This kind of paints can be found in almost every street, with the benefits and the negative effects that includes. The artworks can be simple without a message and only for creating a beautiful paint, but also for trying to give a significance, such as humanity, tolerance, or solidarity. Two new artworks made the last January have called the attention of the citizens of Brussels, and they have started the debate again. Is this kind of art good for our cities? Does it damage the beautiful of the city or make it more magical? You can like an artwork made in the street, but what happens to the person who lives in the place that the artist has used as a canvas? The sacrifice of Isaac, that is the picture which this artwork is trying to imitate. The picture made by Caravaggio in 1603 has found its best mirror in this facade of Brussels. But not only here we can find urban art as an imitation. If we keep walking 2 kilometers away, we will find the bodies of the brothers de Witt, an artwork made by Jan van Veen in 1602, which is also a little bit unpleasant for the view. These two artworks have brought the debate once again to the street. Does urban art stain our cities?
I like this work. It's a little bit creepy, but I like it because it's art, and Brussels has a lot of art everywhere. So it's very interesting that you can just walk on the street and then see a lot of art everywhere.
So I don't really like the painting because it's very scary, but it's the truth. It's happened every day and everywhere. So yeah, I don't like it at all. That's the truth.
Je n'aime pas du tout l'art urbain, je pense qu'il défigure la ville. Je crois que Bruxelles est déjà trop belle pour que des vandales viennent le défigurer.
I like the art here in Brussels, but there are some shocking art, and I like it, that's shocking, but I don't like it at all at the same time because, yeah, it shows the truth, that's why I like it, but yeah.
Je pense que pour le tourisme sauvien, peut-être très attractif, mais l'œuvre de frère de Witt, c'est un peu désagréable. Je n'aimerais pas habiter là, ce bâtiment, et arriver et voir cette œuvre.
So, as we can see, there are conflicting opinions on this topic. We have been able to contact with Erin Sixerin, famous artist and photographer who has experience exposing in a lot of countries. He has given us a professional vision about urban art.
I think I'm a photographer because I started to make photos since I was 12 years old, I think, and I already knew I wanted to be a photographer. For me, the camera is probably my pencil. I probably would have been a painter or a kind of artist. But yeah, the camera fits my hand very well, and I love to make photos. Art has to be in the streets, and much, much more than we already see it. I think for me, art is so important in the culture for everybody, that seeing pieces of art and be surrounded in the metro station, on the side of a truck, on the side of a train, or even on walls of houses, is very important, because with culture, with art, it's one of the only reasons to be different than animals.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that Brussels, step by step, opens a little bit. It's more open to different kind of art.
After the general vision about the urban art in Brussels, we asked him also about the controversial paints of Caravaggio and Jan van Veen, and this is what he told us.
It may be not be my favorite art on the walls, but no, I totally agree with this kind of art on the walls. Even if there is brutality, even we have to see through these images and what they represent. And for the moment, I think the society is terribly and very sad and very depressive, because it's so hard to survive, to simply survive nowadays. I don't know who can be happy in such a house and live in such a house. Yeah. So definitely for me, I don't know if I'm more impressed by the piece of art or by the place where people have to spend years and years and years and live their everyday life in such a horrible place. I'm not a big fan of vandalism, of course, but it's very difficult, I have to say, to put a limit somewhere. Something maybe vulgar in one society and not vulgar in another society.
After everything that we have seen, there is one conclusion which has to be said. There are several murals in the streets of Brussels which makes the city more beautiful, that's obvious. However, where is the limit? Who says that the Caravaggio's paint is art but not the typical graffiti?
Brussels is the capital of Europe, but not the capital of art. But step by step, it becomes a good city.
Maybe, instead of make every mural forbidden, the best could be create a regulation in where everyone would know what can or cannot do in the streets.